Respected Chair, Professor Venkat Rao, respected panel members, Professor V.C. Nirmal, Professor Dharmend, all the delegates, students, I am grateful to Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University for giving me this opportunity to share my views. And I concur with Professor Rao that after so many years, this kind of conference is being organized in country. At least I have not seen this kind of mega event, and I hope that it will be a serious event and some outcome, because if we see the history of legal education and reforms in legal education, there are so many reports. 500 reports we can find out from Google, starting from 1920s, 1930s. And all these legal reports raise serious concerns on the status of legal education. You will not find many good points. So all these reports talk more bad points about the legal education. So there is a serious anxiety on the status of legal education over the years, and I hope that this conference will give some kind of outcome resolution, as sir mentioned, Banaras resolution, something we can give. And the theme of this session is Promises and Prospects, Reforms in Legal Education, Governance. Professor Mitra in his keynote address raised some points on the promises and prospects of legal education. I thought that I will raise some of the concerns which bothers me. As part of legal education, I have been working in national law schools for around 15, 17 years. And I find that accountability is one part which is, or which we don't talk in the conferences, which we don't mention in the reports, which we don't ensure the accountability of these stakeholders. We have thousands of pages, reports, committees, commissions, Supreme Court judgments. So even Supreme Court judgments have raised serious concerns on the declining standards of legal education. But in spite of that, Supreme Court, if we ask this question, that what measures Supreme Court has taken as the highest court of the land, and what is the accountability of the Chief Justice of India. He is the head of the Indian judicial system, and he is also a stakeholder in the judicial system, legal education. As a matter of fact, Chief Justice of India is also Chancellor and visitor in many of the national law universities. So there is a specific statutory duty also. Not only with respect to convening the meetings of the governing body and chairing the meeting of the governing council, but the overall reform in the legal education and national law university system. Sir rightly mentioned that we have 1,700 law colleges, 1,700 law colleges. There is no doubt on the fact that national law school concept raised the standard and the quality of legal education. But how many? 25, 26 national law universities, how many seats, how many students study in national law schools? And then there will be some law faculties like BHU and Aligarh or Delhi University or maybe Allahabad University. But what about those 1,500 law colleges, law schools which are there in the country, and how these law schools, law colleges got affiliation from the Bar Council? Because Bar Council has to ensure the minimum, and that minimum is so minimum that we confined only to the minimum. We don't talk about highest standards of legal education, quality legal education. We are only talking about minimum standards of legal education. And unfortunately, we could not maintain even that minimum threshold which Bar Council has prescribed. What is the minimum threshold for a law school, law college? Is very, very low, very less. You spend 5 lakhs in the library, you appoint 3 contractual teachers. And you have some even rented space, you can start a law college. And how these inspections are made, I have experienced in last 10, 15 years. I have been part of the inspections, and what kind of deliberations are going on or made, it is I think, less said the better. There are cases pending before the CBI court, there are cases pending before the high courts, where the Bar Council members have been prosecuted. The Bar Council has been given this responsibility to bring reforms in legal education and set the minimum standards in consultation with the universities or institutions of the legal education. But how many times this consultation happens, whether we ensure, and that's why I said that accountability part we don't talk about, whether it is accountability of the Bar Council, whether it is accountability of the Chief Justice of India as a stakeholder, whether it is accountability of the Government of India as a stakeholder. Government of India has least interest in legal education. We only claim that we have NLUs when we started that these are the IITs of the law, IIMs of the law. But claiming IITs of the law and IIMs of the law will not make a difference. How law university is being established, I have seen as a founding member, and now I am seeing as a important stakeholder in Tripura. It's a very, very difficult process. Nobody cares. What is there that some accountability of the Chief Justice of the High Court, because most of the law schools are being now headed by the Chief Justice of the High Court. They are the Chancellor. So one Chancellor will impress that there should be a law university in the state, and the act was passed and the pressure of the Chancellor, but there is no money, there is no infrastructure, there is no vision, and the law school has to start, law school has to function. The Chief Justice retires, new Chief Justice will take over, he has his own vision. So there is no accountability on the part of the Chief Justice of the High Courts, who is working as in the capacity of the Chancellor of the many national law universities. Accountability of the Vice-Chancellors. We often say that NLU system became a VC-centric institution. And it's true up to a certain extent. Because for many years, many law schools did not have even service regulation, leave regulation. So everything will go to the Vice-Chancellor, and it is at the mercy of the Vice-Chancellor. He will approve or disapprove or whatever. Every law university act, National Law University Act, provides that there will be a review commission after every 5 years. Is it not accountability? It is not responsibility of the Chancellor or the visitor to ensure that after 5 years the mandate of the act has to be fulfilled? How many law universities have review commissions till now? No, we have 27 national law universities. Bangalore has 2 review commissions. Third one is recently constituted. NUJS got commission in 2016, after so many years of the establishment and functioning of the NUJS. Gujarat National Law University got 1 commission in all these years, and Nalsar got 1. And most of these commissions were constituted not suo motu by the Chief Justice. When there was some kind of pressure, some kind of incident, something pushed, then this commission was constituted. And if you see the report of these commissions have not given a very progressive and positive reports on the functioning of the national law schools, so-called the islands of excellence in legal education. I have read the reports of NUJS Review Commission. I have gone through the report of Madhav Menon Commission on GNLU, Gujarat National Law University, and the Nalsar Kadri Commission report. Very negative report. But what happened to this commission report? Many law universities are functioning from last 15 years. They don't bother. They don't bother that they have to constitute a review commission also. Even in Odisha, I was the registrar and the previous Vice-Chancellor left and I got opportunity. I was made in charge Vice-Chancellor and I requested Chief Justice that we should constitute a review commission because it has already been 15 years, 13, 14 years. And the file was pending. He said that no, the new VC will come and then we'll discuss and we'll constitute review commission. It is almost 4 years, but review commission has not been constituted. So we don't talk about accountability in the legal education system. I already mentioned that Government of India has least interest in legal education reforms. We got a new education policy, and with new education policy, we have only 1 or 2 paragraphs on legal education, which is, Professor Mitra said that at least they started legal education, they have mentioned in the education policy about the legal education. But Government of India, in my opinion, they don't take legal education, not only legal education, they don't take judicial system seriously, because this does not affect their electoral prospects. We have very few, limited number of judges in the country. The Chief Justice of India will keep on asking the government to appoint more judges, not only in the High Court and even subordinate courts. But it is the least, I'll finish, least priority, because if judiciary is not functioning well, nobody blames government. We are running behind the schedule, so I think I should restrict. My concern is that when we organize seminar, when we organize workshop, when we constitute committees, we should ensure on the part of the accountability what will happen, who will be responsible, who will be accountable for what. So we should fix the accountability of the various stakeholders in the legal education system. Otherwise, situation will not improve. We have already so many reports, and this resolution and this report will also add to that literature, and it will go to the dustbin. So we should focus on the accountability part. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.